Spookyou's frightening nights of Halloween.
Hello, my dear Franken friends, and welcome to Spookyou, your one-stop shop for all things ghastly and ghoulish. I'm your host, Barnabas Vixen, and, well, I'm sad to say that it's night 13 of Spookyou's Frightening Nights of Halloween. You know, tonight and, well, honestly, I guess just tonight, leading up to that spooktacular night in October, All Hallows Eve, or as you mundane mortals like to call it, Halloween. I'm sorry, listeners, it's just... Tomorrow is All Hallows Eve. It's already over. I know, we're already nearing the end of October, but don't fret. Don't fret, because Spookyou will be here all year long so that you can quench that craving for the spooky and terrifying. And to end the season with a bang, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. for Spookyou's All Hallows Eve Bash. Enjoy a 24-hour live radio of scary stories all day long to help set the mood for your terrifying night. 'Tis the season, you know. Now, before I pass the reins on over to our vivacious voiceover virtuoso, I need to thank our fine sponsor one last time. Thank you, Hush Puppy, for helping throw all of this together at the last minute. At least now I know that when I have a grandiose idea and need someone to help me execute it, I can turn to you for your guidance and support. Well, we've still got one night together to close this season out, so let's make it a night to remember. And I look forward to working with you again next year to make this event even more spooktacular. Oh, maybe. I'll have to look into that budget some more. We kind of blew it on the special effects for my voice in that one outro. You know the one. Oh well, on to tonight's story. "3 days of hell were years in the making. When the demons took the world, it was quick and brutal. Half the human race was slaughtered before we knew what was happening. They were the lucky ones." Decision made. We emerged from my cellar and raced out to the street, awash with blood under a crimson sky. Fog, or was it steam, burned our lungs, but this mad dash was our only hope. If one of us made it, perhaps the world could be saved. Our forefathers separated church and state, but their wisdom had been forgotten. Religious extremists came to power all over the globe, nation by nation, imposing their self-serving doctrines. Halloween was targeted for celebrating Satan and laws passed eradicating its practices. It took time, but the devil is nothing if not patient. This year, at last, there was no trick-or-treating, no parties, no candy, and no children in masks. Bill ducked down an alley and was cornered by fireballs. Scalding magma poured from their mouths, reducing his body to slag. Annie stopped for only a moment, long enough for a manny-mouther to swoop down and seize her, grabbing a limb in each jaw and rending her with a sharp twist of its necks. The sanctimonious evangelicals forgot that Halloween was never about celebrating evil. The primitives of ages past knew the world's fragility. Since time began, demons have yearned to overrun creation. But for all of their viciousness, they are simple-minded. On the annual night when the celestial barrier was at its weakest, people wore terrifying masks to keep them at bay. It seems silly, but it worked. That is, until the tradition stopped. The Chimera had a bear's body, a bull's head, carried a spiked mace, and moved swiftly despite its size. We were within sight of the shop, just 4 blocks from my house when it appeared. I dodged right, Jody stumbled left, and I heard her scream as spikes impaled her body. I saw the creature reel her still living form towards its mouth, and I bolted for the shop. October 31st, 2045. With nothing to frighten his minions, the devil launched his assault. The sun vanished, the seas ran red, and it was hell on earth. Bottomless pits opened all over the world, unleashing legions of horrors, clawing, biting, mercilessly killing. Jody was swallowed whole, and the Chimera started for me. So I crashed through the window into Old Man Watson's novelty shop. Last week, he'd boasted about old costumes he'd hidden from the scumbag government. In his damp back room, I grabbed the first thing I saw, a skeleton mask, crude, plastic, and I slapped it on my face. And with a shriek, the Chimera fled into the mists. I wanted to collapse, but there wasn't time. There weren't more than a dozen masks here, but perhaps more could be found, and with enough survivors, we could form an army. The demons could be driven back. Halloween wasn't over yet. Pardon the interruption of this story, dear listeners, but I've been informed by the powers that be that it's time for us to take our court-mandated sponsor break. So bear with me as I tell you about one of our fine Oh, he's going to do it. Well, even better. Here's the Scottish hush puppy himself to tell you a little bit about, well, himself. Oh, and pay no mind to that super HD quality of his. He doesn't have to worry about the interns eating his camera equipment, unlike a certain spooky channel you've come to love. Anyways, take it away, Hush Puppy.
Salutations, good people. I'm the Scottish Hush Puppy, and salutations to all you good people over there at Spookyou, all the subscribers, listeners, and even you, Barnabas. And before I tell you who I am, I want to give a sincere thank you to everybody at the channel for allowing me to be your sponsor for the Frightening Nights of Halloween series that's going to be taking place on October the 18th. So make sure you're subscribed. Do not miss that, because if you're anything like me, you love a good spooky story. And what better place than the YouTube channel you're watching right now? Now, what is a Scottish Hush Puppy, and what does it do? Well, over at our channel, we do a lot of live streams. We stream a lot of horror games, especially through the month of October. And we stream a variety of games when it's not October. And we love to have people watch us live, and we want to provide a family-friendly environment for anybody, absolutely anybody, to come in, hang out, and make it feel more like a casual hangout than a live stream. Because usually everybody in the chat, they're all friends, and we can't wait to see you in one of our live streams in the upcoming foreseeable future. So, that being said, I just might be narrating one of these Frightening Nights stories. And of course, all this is leading up to the big live stream on Halloween itself. And I might be popping up there as well. So don't miss it. Hit subscribe on that Spookyou button. Annihilate it. And until next time, I've been the Scottish Hush Puppy, and I got some food to go eat.
And now that we'd filled that quota for the day, what do you say we get back to tonight's story? My mother has been missing for 8 months. To their credit, the police did look for her for a good 6, and after that, they tried to convince us she must have just ran off with someone. Like that would make the weight of her loss any lighter. After we had that conversation with the police, my dad built a small bench next to her rose garden with a plaque in her honor. He said he liked to go out there and talk to her, and he said that was what he missed the most, just sitting there and talking with her. I don't live with my father anymore, but it seemed like each time I would visit him, he would be out there and I'd hear him talking aloud like she was right there. My fiancé had the idea of getting him a dog, and I agreed to it immediately. I mean, we had been looking for one ourselves, so I thought that, hey, if he didn't feel ready for one, that we would just keep it. We went to the pound the next day, and there was a perfect little pit mix. The little guy's brown tail wagged so hard that his butt would shake. We knew he was the one, and part of me honestly hoped that my dad wouldn't want him. We brought Spike. I named him Spike in a not-so-subtle way of trying to make him ours. To my dad's the next day. We found him sitting in his bench next to my mother's roses. He rose to greet us, and I let Spike run to him, and they both looked excited. My dad opened his arms and bent over to pet him, but Spike ran right past him and started digging up the roses. "No, Spike, no!" I shouted, running towards him. I dragged him from the now disturbed garden and I froze at what I saw. There was a grotesque, gray, decayed hand in the dirt, and it wore my mother's wedding ring. You're sprinting, slowly getting more out of breath, legs burning, blood pumping loudly in your ears, running. Don't stop running. You're already going as fast as you can go, and you feel your energy depleting as your body tries to pump out adrenaline to make up for the loss. But there is no time. Renewed energy comes when you take a half-second's glance behind you. Run! Your head is on fire, your body not able to take this strain, but willpower keeps you going. This isn't just any danger, this is death itself, and he will not lose your trail. He's right on your heels. Run. Run! You can feel his breath on your neck, his shadow looming over you as you pass below streetlights. Cloaked in black, his face shrouded, beady black eyes pierce your soul. The night is cold and the heat building in your body only makes the fog coming from your breath thicker. Your mouth is parched and you can hardly breathe. Your throat is closing. Run. Sweat drips down your face, freezing in the chill of the night. There is no wind, but air rushes past as you rush past it. And you are no runner. You know you aren't quick. You know you won't be able to hold this pace for long, though you have been able to feel his breath this entire time. The hairs stand up on your neck. You know he's even closer. Run. Run. A light touch brushes against your back and you don't know what it is, but you know it means you're too slow, too weak and pathetic to escape, and you weren't ready for this. You weren't ready to meet him. You knew it was coming and you're trying. You're running, but your hope begins to fade as you feel a cold hand lightly grip your shoulder. Running becomes harder as he pulls, trying to stop you. You know he can, but he doesn't quite yet. He wants to see how far you'll go, how strong you are. Run, run. With death in tow, you run, heart beating faster than it ever has, blood pumping, drowning out the sound of the wind rushing past your ears. It may mean nothing, but you don't want him to take you without a fight. Pure exhaustion takes over as your legs give their last and your mind says run. The hellishly cold breath on your neck brings on shivers, tremors. That's it, run! Your legs shake and seize up and you fall to the ground, momentum causing you to slide while you writhe on the ground in fear. He is there, in front of you, behind you, surrounding you. Icy claws reach into your chest, grabbing your heart, burning from the chase. It stops beating relentlessly. Vision fades, and the spasms slow. All goes to black. Run. No. The monitor's beeping ceases, replaced with a flat noise. A family watches with tears in their eyes. The hopeless fight is over. Their father lost. Cancer won. Well, my darling deviants, tonight is the night. It's time we bring a close to our Frightening Nights of Halloween series. And if you've been with us this far, then I, Barnabas, would like to thank you for your unyielding patronage to our channel. It really does mean a great deal to us. And if you're just joining us for the first time, well, what are you doing? Go back and watch the other nights. Jeez! I'm totally kidding. Welcome and thank you for sitting through this outro. While our Frightening Night series may be coming to an end, I'd like to remind you that the fright doesn't stop here. Join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our All Hallows Eve Bash. And if you find that you just can't wait, then by all means, thumb through our catalog and find a story that piques your interest. Or head on over to Hush Puppy's channel and check out his horror live streams. And as always, make sure you subscribe to this channel and ring that little bell so that you're notified the moment we release a new video. And while you're here and checking things off our to-do list, hit that like button too if you've enjoyed what you've heard today. I hear it brings a a sort of validation to our wicked weavers of woe, and they tend to do a better job curating stories when they know which ones you've enjoyed the most. Well, dear listeners, for one final time this season, thank you for watching our Frightening Nights of Halloween series, and we'll see you tomorrow for our All Hallows Eve Bash. Until then, my ghastly gang, stay spooky.